talking about these farmers who are blockading roads in protest
right.
against oil subsidy cuts. Look at these extraordinary images coming out of Berlin. If you're listening on the radio, it is gridlocked. There are hundreds. Do you think there's hundreds of tractors
there's thousands.
there? Maybe thousands.
When you see the main pictures, particularly at night, and they're all flashing their lights, it's incredible. And we want to know why this is happening and could it possibly come
And it's
here?
happening in Poland too, so there's going to be a knock-on effect. It's all to do, of course, with the rush to go green. Which we all know is absurdly expensive and unrealistic. So we're going to talk to one of our favourite farmers, if not our favourite farmer, Gareth Wyn Jones. Gareth, morning.
In a tractor, by the looks of it.
Now, you're in a you're not blockading anyone, are you, in that tractor?
Not yet.
And yet, being the pertinent word, Gareth, just explain to our viewers and our listeners why these mass protests have happened in Germany. We saw similar ones in France and Denmark as well, in the Netherlands, in Holland, sorry. Tell us what's been going on.
Well, again, you know, they're crushing the farmers. These subsidies were put there, you know, the subsidy for the red diesel was put there so we can produce food affordably for people. Now, I've just filled this tractor up with diesel. Now, if I wasn't having a subsidy on that diesel, it would cost me twice as much for that diesel. So instead of £100 to be filling this tractor up, it'd be £200. Now, you imagine that, you know, for a farmer that's struggling and can't make ends meet. It is a massive, massive challenge. Without the subsidies they're taking away, you know, to produce the food as well. These are challenges that are happening worldwide, and I think people need to wake up and smell the coffee. And I'd like to congratulate you for at least putting this coverage on GB News, because the other mainstream media, I watched a couple of them this morning, and there wasn't even a mention of this. And you know, there is thousands and thousands of farmers out there protesting, and I'll tell you something, farmers don't protest unless there is a real reason, because they want to be home producing food affordably for everybody. So, you know, to see these kind of scenes is scary. It's scary for us in the UK. And there's talk, you know, there's Chinese whispers in this country. You know, the government on both sides, you know, we're in Wales, we're devolved in agriculture, but we're losing land to plant trees, to solar panels, you know, all kinds of things that they believe is going to save the planet. And we know, literally, we need to feed people. We need to feed people affordably, and it has to be environmentally friendly. And we, as an industry, are under immense pressure. The average age of a farmer is 67. Where is the next generation going to come from? If these politicians and these world leaders don't start to realise there is a farming food revolution going to be across the world, and Britain should be really first and foremost in building a better Britain on our bellies, and start to back British agriculture, start to eat more seasonal, start to have a balanced diet, and invest in our children and educate them on good food that comes from either the earth or from the sea. It's surf and turf. All this processed rubbish is killing our children and making them ill. It's a bigger picture than anybody else can see, but we have to be very, very careful that things like are happening in Holland, in Canada, in New Zealand, and in Germany, Poland, and France doesn't come to the United Kingdom, because the way things are going, it could be.
It's galvanised such a movement across Europe, this, Gareth, and it's particularly why I wanted us to handle it on the show this morning, because it is an absolute demonstration of people power. GB News is the people's channel, and if this story does not sum up what is possible when the masses get together and galvanise and have their voices heard, is there any possibility that you think, under the similar circumstances, we would ever see British farmers get together like this? Because I think the British public would be behind you, because we want fresh food that is grown in this country. And that's really what all these Germans, the Dutch, the French, that's what they want too.
I think the Dutch is a great example. They built their own political party in 2 years.
They did.
And it was all down to the farmers, but the farmers were backed by their public, and that's what we have to understand. We've got a small minority of very vocal people that believe that they're going to save the planet by not eating meat or dairy. You know, they're living in cloud cuckoo land. We are in a temperate climate here. We've got 70% of our country is ideally for producing grass, and we can use livestock then to transport that grass into high quality protein or into milk or into yogurts or into cheeses. And there's a lot of fantastic farmers out there, but we have to get the message. And if mainstream media aren't willing to do it, I think get on social media. And I'll give you an example. Over the last 6 months, I've gone up to 2 million followers on my YouTube channel. Follow my YouTube channel. They're shorts, they're funny, but there's some great messages there. 2 million. I'm the most followed farmer in the world now on YouTube.
Okay.
And the same.
We've got to lose, Gareth. We've got to lose you.
We need.
Gareth, we've got to let you go. But thank you very much.